Thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. On today's review, we take a look at the Storm Collectibles Kengan Ashura Kure Raian. Today I'll be reviewing this figure in the following categories: accessories, articulation, design, is it essential to your collection, functionality, and price. Once those scores are totaled, I'll give you my opinion if this figure is a pass or a purchase. So for accessories, we receive a decent spread. We receive 4 pair of hands in total, 2 on the figure which are fisted. So just looking at the hands, I really love the vein work that's done here. And you can actually see some colors in the vein. That looks phenomenal. Looking at the fingernails, you can see where they start. Good job done there. Now let's go ahead and go to one of the 3 interchangeable head sculpts, and man, I really like all of these. Just taking a look at the hair itself and the veins coming through, you can see some colors of purple, a little bit of gray. Now this one is my least favorite head, though I do like all 3. So coming to the next head sculpt, my favorite is between the one that comes on the figure or this one. I just think that it's done really well. I just love that expression. The vein work just gives it so much detail. And then we receive an additional torso. So happy with this. So on the figure, you have a singular one. This one, you have a split torso. And just look at the definition on this. We'll talk about this a little bit later. And then we get an effect piece, which I thought initially was the same that came with Tokito Ohama, but it is not. It looks very similar, but it is different. And I'm gonna go on the record of saying that I don't think that this is blood this time. Maybe this is the power effect itself, or maybe it is blood. If it's blood, I don't care for the way that it looks. So for overall accessories, I'm unsure of what more you can ask for with this particular figure. I'm gonna give this figure a 10 out of 10. So for articulation, I am expecting some of the same movement with Tokito Ohama. So starting with the head, it is able to look way up, all the way down, great rotation as well as pivot, and it shifts back and forth. So with the arm, I knew I was gonna pop that off, I was trying to hold it, is able to kick up to the side that much. You do have 360 rotation, you do have an upper bicep joint, and you have a double jointed elbow bending in that much. Wish we got a little bit more movement. And the wrist is on a hinge. You're able to get it in any direction that you need it to go. You also have a butterfly joint collapsing forward in that much, backwards that much, and it's able to shift up and down as well as rotate. Now with the torso, just using the top portion of it, he's able to crunch forward that much. Backwards barely any. Now using the combination of the torso, he's able to crunch all the way down. Great amount backwards. Great pivot as well as rotation. Just look at that movement, side to side, excellent. So with the legs, they're able to kick out all the way to the side, full 360. They're able to kick forward that much. Oh, hold on, let's fix the torso. They're able to go back that much. Now let's see the rotation. Yeah, so it does rotate inward that much at the thigh. You do have an upper. Do you? Maybe you don't. Oh, it's there. It's there. It's just tight maybe? Or is it not there? Do we have a cut? Hold on. Okay, this is odd. So it appears that there's no rotation under the thigh. However, Tokito has that. So I don't know if mine is stuck, if there's a defect, or it just doesn't move. So the next point of rotation, there is none. Looking at the feet, it does go down that much. Forward, barely any. It does tilt to the outside, however, on the angle. The inside is better. And you have toe articulation bending up that much. The knees are double jointed. Basically, he can touch his own back. So with articulation, I am just so confused. Why would one character have the point of articulation here, but then this one doesn't? It doesn't make sense, especially with the trunk line right around there. You would think that the point of articulation would be underneath. If someone has this figure, please let me know if you are able to rotate it there. So aside from that, and the limited range with the elbow, I would like it to collapse up a bit more. The articulation would have been great. So for overall articulation, I'm going to give Kure an 8 out of 10. So for design, let's just go ahead and zoom in a little bit. And man, did Storm ever kill this. This figure looks marvelous. This is nearly identical to the anime. Fantastic head sculpt. Really captured the likeness of that character with this head sculpt here. And just looking at the body, the vein work, the details here are insane. And just looking at the veins, you have some colors, the same as you did in the cartoon. You have some purples, appears to be maybe a dark gray. Just turning him to the back. Man, that looks fantastic. It looks realistic. The elbows even look good. Man, did they ever do such a good job with this, and that detail with the veins just continue all the way down. Just look at those arms. Wow. Now with the trunks, already I can see some of the black peeking through the white. Going down to the feet, they look great. There is a pin on the inside, however not the outside, so I do appreciate that. Just again, just talking about the veins, just the thickness of some of the veins in certain places and how they get slender. But man, this is remarkable. I am so satisfied with the way that this figure looks. So for overall design, I'm going to give Kure a 10 out of 10. Kure Raian, essential to your collection. So Kure, also known as the Devil, is an elite assassin for the Kure clan. The Kure clan style is designed to both give and take lives. Kure uses a special technique, which is called removal, allowing him to take vast amounts of damage. Now, as far as toy options, you are looking at it. So if you are in the line for this figure, this is the only company that you can get it for. So as far as being essential to your collection, I'm going to give this figure an 8 out of 10. So for functionality, Kure clearly passes the stand test. Let's go ahead and move him over to the side for a moment. I want to grab the additional torso and pop on one of the alternate heads. So now with this additional torso, this just adds more movement. So the figure is able to just really crunch forward. The top is flexible. The bottom piece is hard. You get a great amount of range. The head again is able to look way up. So for anybody who's worried about possibly breaking or this body cracking in time, you do have an alternate torso, and I think that was fantastic for them to include. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the hand. Let's go ahead and pull this off. I prefer the peg to actually be in the hand. I have the wrong hand here. Okay, now with the right hand, I'm going to go ahead and pop this on. And now with this effect piece that we have, not sure if this is going to show good off camera, but inside is a slot that looks like 4 fingers, maybe in this pose can fit. And unless I'm missing hands or misplaced them, which I could have, this seems to be the better hand to fit. So I'm going to go ahead and attempt to force this into that hole. And there you have it. I mean, he holds it. It is not that secure. I usually have issues with Storm collectibles and their accessories working well with the characters. But I feel like maybe I have a set of hands that fell. I need to go back and see how many hands this figure actually comes with. So, I mean, you can get it to work. It's not the greatest looking effect, nor, well, it's more secure than I thought it was. So there you have it. It works. So with functionality, really love the soft torso. It just allows you to get so much flexibility as well as movement. Having the ball peg at the torso allows you to get so much range. And then having the softer trunks. Now the part to where I'm really bummed, I really would have thought that the thigh, we would have had articulation right around this point. Unless mine was glued, It doesn't appear that we do, and that's just unfortunate, being that one figure has it and this one doesn't. Really wondering why they would do that. Aside from that, would like for the arm to go up a bit more, but I see because of some of the muscular, especially on the bicep and this portion of the forearm, really prevents it from going up more. Not a deal breaker, but I would have liked if it could have went up some more. So for overall functionality, I'm going to give Kure an 8 out of 10. So for pricing, Kure comes in at $85. Adding taxes, adding shipping, you're looking at a price point of roughly 93 bucks. So now is Kure worth the price of admission? Well, let's see what he... So for pricing, Kure comes in at $85. Adding taxes, adding shipping, you're looking at a price point of roughly $95. So is this figure worth the price of admission? Well, let's see what he comes with. In terms of accessories, you receive multiple pair of hands, you receive 3 interchangeable head sculpts, and those head sculpts are phenomenal, really capturing the likeness of that character in every way. And then you receive a effect piece, which I'm not crazy about, however, it is cool to have it. With this character, there aren't any additional accessories that I would ask for, so I felt Storm Collectible has done a good job delivering the accessories. So for pricing, I took the detail of this figure into consideration, so for overall pricing, I'm giving this figure a 10 out of 10. That should give Kure an overall cliff score of... So now is this figure a pass or a purchase? Let's not waste time. This looks marvelous. This figure is an absolute purchase, whether you plan to collect the Kengan and Ashura line, or if you just want this hulking figure to go against any of the other characters that scale properly with this. He looks amazing. Here's Kure by itself. Here he is next to Storm Collectible Zangief. Here he is next to Tokita Ohama. Here he is next to Tekken's King. Here he is next to Storm Collectible Samurai Showdown Nakaruru. Here he is next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool. Here he is next to the Monkey Fiction Santa Claus. Here he is next to Super 7's Mumra. And here he is next to the NECA's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Burns. So, thank you for tuning in to Mr. Cliff's Toy Shop. I hope to see you during the next review.